Chosen one, what I am about to tell you may shake you to your core, but if you are here right now, know this. This did not happen by chance. God has led you to this exact moment because your time of waiting has come to an end. The final step has arrived. There is only one night left. Have you ever felt like there is something special about you? Like there is a deeper purpose behind everything that happens in your life? Maybe you have gone through struggles or challenges that seem unfair, but somehow you always come out stronger. What if I told you that these things could be signs that you are marked by God? Being marked by God does not always mean that you will live an easy life. In fact, it often means the opposite, but it also means that you have been chosen for something big, bigger than you can imagine. You have been set apart for a divine purpose. And even though you cannot see it yet, there are signs all around you. In this video, we're going to explore 7 surprising signs that you're marked by God. These signs may be hidden in the little things in your life that you overlook, but they are powerful indicators that you have a calling. You won't expect some of these, but by the end, you may realize that God has been preparing you for something extraordinary all along. So, if you've ever wondered if you're part of God's plan, or you've just felt something different that you can't explain, stay tuned. The signs you'll find will probably change the way you view yourself and your life. Before we move on, I want you to do 3 things. Hit the like button, subscribe to help us reach 1,000 subscribers, and leave a comment with the number 99. This number will send a powerful signal to the universe, aligning your energy with this divine change. The time is now. No more delays, no more doubts, no more waiting. Are you ready? Let's get started. You've faced unusual challenges. Life is full of ups and downs, but if you've been marked by God, your challenges may feel a little different. Have you ever gone through so many tough times that it felt like it wasn't fair? Maybe you've faced constant setbacks in life, or perhaps you've been rejected when you least expected it. You might even wonder why things seem so much harder for you compared to others. It can feel like the world is against you, or like every step forward is met with 2 steps back. But here's the thing. These struggles are not pointless. They're actually one of the clearest signs that you are marked by God. It may not feel like it when you're in the middle of the storm, but God often allows people who are chosen for a special purpose to go through tough times. Why? Because these experiences are shaping you for something much bigger. Think of a diamond. Diamonds are created under extreme pressure. Without that pressure, they would just remain simple pieces of carbon, nothing special. But because of the intense pressure they endure, they become beautiful and valuable. The same thing happens with people who are marked by God. The challenges you face are like the pressure that turns you into something precious and powerful. Now you might be asking, why me? It's easy to feel discouraged when life keeps throwing obstacles your way. But remember, God doesn't waste anything. Every challenge you face has a purpose. Maybe you've gone through financial struggles, relationship problems, health issues, or emotional pain. It's not easy, but each of these hardships is preparing you for a greater purpose. Sometimes, the challenges you face are meant to strengthen your character. They might teach you patience, build your faith, or make you more resilient. God sees the bigger picture, and He knows that you need these experiences to become the person you are meant to be. When you're marked by God, He's preparing you for a calling that requires a strong, refined character. Another reason why you might face unusual challenges is that God uses these hard times to position you exactly where you need to be. It might feel like everything is going wrong, but in reality, God is moving the pieces of your life into place. Maybe you're being led to a job, a relationship, or a new opportunity that you wouldn't have found without the struggles you've been through. The path may seem difficult now, but trust that God is leading you somewhere greater. There's also a deeper spiritual reason behind these challenges. When you are marked by God, the enemy knows it too. Often, those who are chosen for a divine purpose face spiritual battles as well. These can come in the form of fear, doubt, or temptation. The enemy will try to stop you from fulfilling your calling because he knows how powerful you can be when you fully step into the purpose God has for you. But here's the good news. God never lets you face more than you can handle with His help. He's with you every step of the way, even when it feels overwhelming. Your challenges are not a sign of God abandoning you. They're a sign that He's preparing you for something extraordinary. So the next time you face a struggle, instead of asking, "Why me?" try to ask, "What is God preparing me for?" Remember that just like a diamond, you are being refined under pressure. And when the time is right, all of these challenges will come together to reveal the beautiful purpose that God has been shaping you for all along. Keep pushing forward because you are marked by God and He's preparing you for something amazing. You feel a strong sense of purpose. Have you ever had a feeling deep inside that you're meant for something more? Maybe it's hard to explain or put into words, but it's always there, like a quiet whisper in your heart. This sense of purpose may not be something you talk about often, but it's real, and it's a sign that God has marked you for something special. Sometimes you might feel a pull towards something important, even if you're not sure what it is yet. It's as if there's a plan for your life that you can't quite see, but you know it's there. This feeling of purpose might come and go, but no matter how long it's been with you, it never fully disappears. It's always in the background, reminding you that you're here for a reason. This sense of purpose is a powerful indicator that God has chosen you for a unique mission. While others may go through life without giving much thought to their path, you feel a deeper calling. It's like you know deep down that you are meant to make a difference in the world. This feeling doesn't always come with clear instructions, but it's a sign that God is guiding you towards something meaningful. Many people marked by God feel this way. They sense that there's a higher purpose for their lives, even if they haven't figured out exactly what it is yet. If you've ever felt like you're here to do something big, or that your life has a special mission, that's a clear sign you've been set apart by God. This feeling of purpose can show up in different ways. You might feel drawn to help others, or you may have a desire to make the world a better place in some way. Maybe there's a specific cause that stirs your heart, or you feel a pull toward a certain career, ministry, or mission. Even if you haven't figured out the details yet, the fact that you feel this sense of purpose is important. It's God's way of letting you know that He has something significant planned for you. At times, you might doubt this feeling. Life can get busy, and it's easy to push aside these inner thoughts. You may even feel frustrated, wondering why you can't see the full picture of your purpose yet. But don't ignore that inner voice. Trust that this feeling is real, and it's guiding you towards something bigger than you can imagine right now. God doesn't always reveal everything at once. Sometimes He gives us just enough light to take the next step. That sense of purpose is like a guiding light, gently nudging you in the right direction. Over time, as you continue to trust and follow this inner calling, God will reveal more about the plan He has for your life. Feeling a strong sense of purpose is also a reminder that you are not just here by accident. God doesn't create anyone without a reason. You are here because you have a unique role to play in His grand plan. Your gifts, talents, and experiences have been carefully crafted to help you fulfill your purpose. Even when things don't make sense or you face challenges, remember that every part of your journey is shaping you for this mission. The next time you feel that quiet whisper inside, pay attention. It's God reminding you that you've been set apart for something important. He's calling you to step into the purpose He has for you, even if you don't know all the details yet. Trust the process, follow where He leads, and know that your life has a divine purpose that will unfold in time. Keep listening to that inner voice. Trust that God is guiding you toward your unique mission. You are marked by Him, and your purpose is real, even if you can't see the whole picture yet. Just keep taking one step at a time, and watch how God's plan for your life comes together in ways you never expected. You're drawn to help others. Have you ever noticed that you feel a strong urge to help others, even when it's not easy or convenient? Maybe you go out of your way to be there for a friend, lend a hand to a stranger, or offer comfort to someone going through a tough time. This deep desire to help others, especially when it doesn't benefit you directly, is a powerful sign that you're marked by God. When you're marked by God, He puts a special compassion and love in your heart. It's as if you're naturally tuned in to the needs of those around you. While others might overlook a person who's struggling, you notice. You feel that tug on your heart, almost like a whisper urging you to reach out and make a difference in someone's life. Sometimes, this pull to help others comes when you're busy, tired, or have your own problems to deal with. But even then, you feel compelled to act. You may not even understand why you care so much, but that desire to lift others up is there, and it doesn't go away. This is one of the signs that you've been chosen by God for a special purpose. God often marks people with a heart for service because He knows they can make a difference in the world. When you feel this natural pull to help others, it's God working through you. He's giving you the compassion and empathy needed to be His hands and feet here on earth. Every act of kindness, no matter how small, is part of a bigger plan that you may not fully see yet. It's important to recognize that helping others doesn't always mean doing something grand or heroic. Sometimes it's the little things that matter most. Maybe you listen to a friend who needs to talk, offer a smile to a stranger, or provide a helping hand to someone in need. These small acts of kindness can have a big impact, and when you feel drawn to do them, it's a sign that you're being guided by a higher purpose. When you're marked by God, your desire to help others often comes from a place of love, not expecting anything in return. You don't do it for recognition or reward. You do it because it feels right, because it's who you are. This selflessness is a key sign that God has chosen you for something special. He's placed this desire in your heart because you're part of His plan to bring love and light into the world. Sometimes you may feel like your efforts go unnoticed, or you wonder if you're really making a difference. But know this: every time you help someone, you're playing a role in God's greater plan. Even if you can't see the impact right away, your acts of kindness ripple out in ways you may never fully understand. God is using you to touch lives, and that's something truly powerful. Being drawn to help others can also bring challenges. There may be times when you feel drained or overwhelmed by the needs of those around you. But remember, God will give you the strength to keep going. He never gives you more than you can handle, and He's always there to support you when you need it. Lean on Him and trust that He's guiding you every step of the way. If you feel this deep desire to help others, take it as a sign that you're part of something bigger. God has marked you to be a light in the lives of those around you. Your compassion, kindness, and willingness to serve are all part of the divine purpose He has for you. Keep following that pull, and know that every act of love you give is making a difference. You may not always know why you feel this urge to help, but trust that it's there for a reason. God is using you to bring His love and compassion to the world. You are marked by Him, and your heart for helping others is one of the clearest signs that you've been chosen for a divine purpose. So keep serving, keep loving, and keep being a light. You are making a difference, and God's plan for your life is unfolding through every kind act you offer. You experience divine protection. Have you ever looked back on a moment in your life and thought, "I shouldn't have made it through that"? Maybe it was a near-miss accident, a sudden recovery from illness, or a situation that could have turned out much worse. These moments, where you felt like you were saved from harm against all odds, are not just luck or coincidence. They are a sign of divine protection. God watching over you because He has a purpose for you to fulfill. When you're marked by God, His protection surrounds you, even when you don't realize it. You might not always be aware of the ways He's working behind the scenes, but God's hand is often at play in those close calls or miraculous escapes from danger. His protection is a sign that you are important to His plan, and He ensures that you make it through life's challenges so you can accomplish the mission He has for you. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you been in a situation that could have ended badly, but you came out okay? Maybe you avoided an accident at the last second, or maybe you were in the right place at the right time to escape danger. These moments might feel like chance or coincidence, but they're more than that. They are signs that God has been protecting you all along. God's protection doesn't mean that you will never face difficult or dangerous situations. Life is full of challenges, and we all experience moments of hardship. But when you're marked by God, He ensures that you come out of those tough times stronger. His protection doesn't always mean avoiding every hardship, but rather that you will have the strength and support to make it through, no matter how difficult it seems. Sometimes divine protection is more subtle. It might come in the form of a gut feeling, telling you to take a different route or avoid a certain situation. It could be a person showing up just in time to help you when you're in need. God works in mysterious ways, and His protection often comes through in the moments we least expect it. When you look back at your life, you might start to see patterns of divine protection. Maybe there was a time when you were seriously ill, but somehow you recovered. Or perhaps you were in a dangerous situation that could have gone terribly wrong, but you made it through unharmed. These are not coincidences. God is protecting you because you have a greater purpose, a calling that is yet to be fulfilled. Being marked by God means that you are part of His divine plan, and He will ensure that you make it through the storms of life. That doesn't mean life will always be easy, but it does mean that God's hand will guide you and keep you safe when you need it most. Even in the hardest moments, God's protection is with you, ensuring that you have the strength to carry on. It's important to recognize and appreciate these moments of protection, even if they seem small. Every time you make it through a difficult situation, take a moment to thank God for watching over you. His protection is a reminder that you are never alone and that He has a purpose for your life that is still unfolding. Sometimes You might wonder why you were spared in certain situations. Why did you survive that accident or recover from that illness when others didn't? These questions can be tough, but know that God has a specific reason for keeping you safe. He has marked you for a special mission, and He will continue to protect you as you move forward in life. If you've ever felt like you've been protected in ways that seem miraculous, take it as a sign that God is with you. His divine protection is a clear indicator that you are marked by Him and that you have a purpose to fulfill. Even when you don't fully understand it, trust that God's protection is part of His bigger plan for your life. So, the next time you find yourself wondering how you made it through a tough situation, remember that God is watching over you. He is protecting you because you are important to His plan. And as long as you continue to trust in Him, He will guide you through whatever challenges come your way, ensuring that you fulfill the purpose He has set for you. You feel different or set apart. Have you ever felt like you don't quite fit in with the people around you? Maybe you've noticed that your thoughts, values, or the way you see the world don't always match those of your friends, family, or co-workers. You might find yourself asking why you seem to think differently, or why you don't go along with what others consider normal. This feeling of being different or set apart can sometimes be uncomfortable, but it's also one of the clearest signs that you've been marked by God. When God marks someone, He often sets them apart for a specific purpose or calling. This can make you feel like you're walking a different path from those around you. Maybe you're not interested in the same things, or you don't follow the same trends or habits as others. You might feel out of place in certain social settings, like you're standing on the outside looking in. This sense of being set apart isn't a coincidence. It's a sign that God is preparing you for something unique. Being set apart by God doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It's actually the opposite. It means that God has chosen you for a special mission that requires you to be different. Think about it this way. When God wants to use someone for an important task, He often needs them to think, act, and live in a way that is different from the crowd. He doesn't want you to blend in because He has something specific planned for you that requires a different perspective. At times, feeling set apart can be lonely. You might find it hard to relate to others, or you may feel misunderstood by the people around you. But remember, this feeling is part of God's plan. When you're marked by God, He separates you from the crowd so that you can focus on the path He has laid out for you. You may not see it clearly now, but every step you take on this different path is leading you toward your divine purpose. Sometimes, the very things that make you feel different are the qualities God is going to use in powerful ways. Maybe you have a deeper sense of compassion, a strong intuition, or an unusual passion for helping others. These traits might make you feel like you don't fit into the usual mold, but they are exactly what sets you apart for God's work. He's given you these unique qualities for a reason, and they will be key to fulfilling the calling He has for you. It's also possible that your sense of being different comes from a spiritual place. You might find that you're more drawn to prayer, worship, or spending time reflecting on your relationship with God, even when those around you aren't as interested. This spiritual pull is another sign that God has set you apart. He's drawing you closer to Him, helping you grow in faith and understanding so that you'll be ready when the time comes to step into your purpose. Being set apart doesn't always feel easy. There might be times when you wish you could just go along with what everyone else is doing or fit into the crowd more easily. But God has something better in mind for you. He's preparing you for a life that is filled with meaning and purpose, even if that means you have to walk a different path from others. The discomfort you feel now is part of the process of becoming the person God has called you to be. It's important to embrace your uniqueness and trust that God is using it for His plan. Instead of trying to blend in or change who you are to fit in, lean into the ways you feel different. These differences are what make you special in God's eyes. He didn't create you to be like everyone else. He created you to stand out, to shine a light in the world, in a way that only you can. The Bible is filled with examples of people who were set apart by God for a special purpose. Think of people like Moses, David, or Esther. They all felt different or out of place at some point in their lives, but God used their uniqueness to accomplish incredible things. Just like them, you have been set apart for something that will make a difference in the world. It might not be clear yet, but in time, God will reveal the purpose behind why you've always felt different. So, if you've ever wondered why you don't quite fit in, take it as a sign that God has marked you for something special. He's chosen you to walk a path that is different from others, and even though it might feel uncomfortable now, it's leading you toward a future filled with purpose and meaning. Trust that God knows what He's doing, and embrace the unique journey He's taking you on. You are set apart for a reason, and that reason is more extraordinary than you can imagine. You have unexplainable favor. Have you ever noticed that sometimes, no matter how tough things get, everything seems to work out in the end? Maybe you found yourself in difficult situations where it looked like there was no way out, but then suddenly, an unexpected opportunity or blessing appeared, and things just seemed to fall into place. This kind of unexplainable good fortune is called favor, and it's a powerful sign that you're marked by God. When you're marked by God, His favor surrounds you, guiding and protecting you in ways that might not always make sense. Even when the odds are stacked against you, God's favor can create a path where there seems to be none. It's like doors that were once closed suddenly swing wide open, and help comes from places you never expected. This favor doesn't always follow logic, and that's what makes it so special. It's God working behind the scenes in your life, ensuring that His plan for you moves forward, no matter what. One way you might experience this unexplainable favor is through opportunities that come your way. Perhaps you've received a job offer, a promotion, or a chance to do something meaningful when you least expected it. Maybe you've encountered someone who helped you just when you needed it most, or a financial blessing arrived at the perfect moment. These moments of favor are God's way of making sure you're in the right place at the right time for His purposes. It's like everything lines up perfectly, not because of anything you did, but because God is orchestrating events in your life. Sometimes this favor shows up in your relationships. You may find that people are drawn to help or support you even when there's no obvious reason why they should. You might form strong connections with people who open doors for you, offer guidance, or simply provide encouragement during tough times. These relationships aren't coincidences. They're part of God's favor working in your life. He places people in your path who are meant to walk with you, lift you up, and push you toward your purpose. Favor also shows itself in protection. There may be moments when you've avoided danger or harm without even realizing it. Perhaps you narrowly missed being in an accident, or you were saved from a bad situation without fully understanding how or why. This isn't luck. It's God's favor keeping you safe. He shields those He marks, ensuring that they make it through even the toughest seasons, not because of their own strength, but because of His grace. It's important to understand that favor doesn't mean your life will be easy or that you'll never face challenges. In fact, favor often shows up during difficult times when you're facing struggles that seem overwhelming. But it's in those moments that God's hand becomes most visible. His favor shines brightest when it brings you through situations that seemed impossible. When everything feels like it's falling apart, God's favor steps in to hold things together and make a way for you to move forward. Another way God's favor might show up is through your talents or skills. You might find that you're naturally gifted in certain areas, and these gifts open doors for you that others may not have access to. Whether it's creativity, leadership, problem-solving, or something else, these talents are part of God's favor. He's given them to you for a reason, and they're meant to help you fulfill your purpose. As you develop and use these gifts, you'll notice that they often lead to unexpected success, recognition, or opportunities that seem too good to be true. That's favor in action. God's favor isn't something you can earn. It's a gift that comes from being chosen by Him. It's a sign that He's got His eye on you and He's working in your life in ways you can't always see. Even when things don't make sense and it feels like the odds are against you, trust that God's favor is at work. It might not always look like what you expect, but it's always there, guiding you, protecting you, and making sure you stay on the path He's laid out for you. Sometimes, favor can even look like closed doors. You might feel frustrated when things don't go the way you planned, but later, you realize that those closed doors were actually God's way of redirecting you towards something better. His favor doesn't always mean things will go smoothly. It means He's steering you toward the best possible outcome, even when it doesn't feel that way at the time. Unexplainable favor is a clear sign that God's hand is on your life. He's watching over you, providing for you, and making sure you have what you need to fulfill your calling. Even when you face challenges, know that His favor is still with you, working behind the scenes to bring you through. So the next time something good happens that you didn't expect, take a moment to recognize it for what it is: God's favor, marking you for a greater purpose. You feel called to stand strong in faith. There are times in life when everything seems to be crumbling around you, when challenges seem to pile up and hope feels distant. In those moments, you may feel a deep sense that you must hold on to your faith, no matter what. It's as if something inside of you is telling you, don't give up, keep trusting. This inner call to stay strong, even when life gets hard, is a sign that God has marked you for something significant. Faith isn't just about believing when things are going well. It's about trusting in God's plan, even when it's hard to see. When you're marked by God, you'll often experience moments where you feel a need to pray more, to seek Him more, and to strengthen your belief in His promises, even when everything else seems uncertain. It's during these tough times that God is shaping your character and preparing you for something greater. If you've ever had the feeling that you need to trust God more, despite the storms you're going through, you're likely being called to a higher purpose. This inner strength to stand firm in faith doesn't come from you alone. It's God's way of guiding you and reminding you that He's with you, even in the hardest moments. It's like a small voice in your heart that tells you to keep believing, even when the world around you is trying to shake that belief. One of the most important things to remember is that faith doesn't always mean you'll have all the answers or that life will instantly become easier. Faith is about trusting that, no matter how difficult things get, God is still in control. You might not understand why certain things are happening, and that's okay. What's important is that you trust God knows what He's doing, and He has a plan for you that's bigger than the struggles you're facing right now. When you feel the call to stand strong in your faith, it's often because God is trying to build something within you. Patience, perseverance, or deeper trust in Him. So, just like a tree grows stronger when its roots dig deep into the ground during a storm, your faith grows stronger when you rely on God through the tough seasons of life. These are the moments that prepare you for the bigger things He has in store for you. You may also notice that during challenging times, your desire to pray intensifies. When everything feels out of control, prayer becomes the lifeline that keeps you connected to God. It's in these moments of prayer that you find peace, even when the world around you is chaotic. Prayer isn't just about asking for help. It's about building a relationship with God, trusting that He hears you, and believing that He's working in ways you might not see yet. God often calls those He marks to stand strong in their faith so they can be a light to others. Your faith, especially during hard times, can inspire those around you. When people see you holding on to hope, even when life is difficult, it shows them that there's something deeper guiding you, something they can lean on too. In this way, your faith becomes a testimony, a living example of what it means to trust God no matter what. It's important to recognize that standing strong in faith doesn't mean you'll never feel fear, doubt, or frustration. You might have moments when you question everything, and that's normal. But even in those moments, if you feel the pull to come back to God, to trust Him again, and to keep going, it's a sign that you're marked for a divine purpose. God knows the challenges you're facing, and He's using them to make you stronger. You may also find that when you're called to stand firm in your faith, you develop a deeper sense of peace. This doesn't mean the challenges disappear, but there's a quiet confidence that God will bring you through it. It's like an anchor for your soul, keeping you steady when everything else is in turmoil. This peace is a gift from God, a reminder that He is with you every step of the way. Feeling called to stand strong in your faith, especially during difficult times, is a clear sign that God has marked you for something important. He's shaping you, strengthening you, and preparing you for a greater purpose. So, if you've ever felt that inner pull to trust God more, to pray harder, and to hold on to your faith when life is tough, know that it's God at work in your life. He's guiding you, protecting you, and leading you toward the future He has planned for you. Trust in that process and keep standing strong in your faith. You are being prepared for something greater than you can imagine. You receive unexpected signs or messages. Have you ever noticed moments in your life when things seem to line up in a way that feels too perfect to be a coincidence? Maybe you see the same number repeatedly, have a dream that speaks to your situation, or hear a message that seems to be meant just for you. These little signs often appear when you least expect them, but they bring a sense of peace or clarity, reminding you that you're not walking through life alone. When you're marked by God, these signs are like small nudges or reminders from Him. They might come in different forms, some as subtle as seeing a certain number over and over again, like 11:11 on a clock, or more direct, like hearing a sermon or song that speaks directly to your heart. These moments are personal and special, and they often feel like a confirmation that God is with you. You might wonder why these signs happen. The truth is, God often uses them to remind you of His presence and His guidance in your life. Sometimes, when we're going through tough times or feeling lost, we need that little reminder that He hasn't forgotten about us. These signs are His way of gently saying, "I'm here. Keep going." They can give you the strength to push forward, knowing that you're not alone in whatever you're facing. Dreams are another powerful way God communicates. Maybe you've had a dream that seemed more vivid or meaningful than usual, something that stayed with you long after you woke up. These dreams can be messages, helping you understand something you're dealing with or pointing you toward a decision you need to make. When you're marked by God, He sometimes uses dreams to reveal truths or guide you in a specific direction. Unexpected messages can also come through people around you. Have you ever been in a conversation and someone says something that feels like it's exactly what you needed to hear? They might not even realize the impact their words have on you, but in that moment, it feels like God is speaking directly to your heart through them. This is one way God uses others to deliver His messages, often when you need it most. These signs can come during everyday moments too. For example, you might be scrolling through your phone and come across a quote or Bible verse that perfectly fits what you're going through. It's like God knows exactly what you need, and He places these little signs in your path to encourage and strengthen you. Even a random encounter with a stranger can sometimes feel like a divine appointment, where something they say or do touches you in a meaningful way. Another example is when you feel an inner nudge or gut feeling guiding you. Maybe you've had moments where you felt strongly about taking a certain action or making a decision, even when it didn't seem logical. This is often the Holy Spirit guiding you, giving you insight or direction that comes from a place beyond your understanding. Trusting these feelings can lead you to exactly where you need to be. Sometimes these signs come when you're least expecting them, when you're in a moment of doubt, fear, or confusion. It's in these moments that God often sends a small reminder, like a whisper to your soul, saying, "I'm still here. Don't worry." These signs are not always loud or obvious, but they're deeply personal, meant just for you. They reassure you that even in uncertainty, God is in control, guiding you step by step. It's important to pay attention to these signs, but also to trust that they are not random. They are placed in your life with purpose. When you're marked by God, He is constantly working behind the scenes, orchestrating things for your good. These signs are just a glimpse of how much He is involved in your life, watching over you and leading you toward your calling. These unexpected signs and messages are a beautiful reminder of God's love and care for you. They may come in moments of doubt or confusion, but they always bring a sense of reassurance. When you notice them, take a moment to reflect on what they might mean. These signs are God's way of communicating with you, guiding you through life, and showing you that He is always with you, no matter what. So, if you've experienced these small but powerful moments in your life, take heart. They are not coincidences. They are signs that you are marked by God. He sees you, knows you, and is walking with you on this journey. Trust in those signs and let them strengthen your faith, knowing that God is always there, guiding and protecting you every step of the way. Conclusion: if any of these signs resonate with you, take them seriously. God doesn't mark people for nothing. There's a reason behind everything you've been through. You are chosen for a divine purpose, and the time to embrace it is now. No more waiting, no more doubting. You are marked by God, and He's preparing you for something extraordinary. Before you go, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and comment with the number 99 to align your energy with this divine change. Are you ready for what's next? Let's get started.